Hello, fellas. Welcome back to Fallacious Truth. We're gonna do something different here. I've been looking around for some different content and a few different things that we can discuss here. I came across a section on Reddit that is all about cheating stories. Now, I know you probably heard these a million times over with regards to other channels like this, but I'm gonna try to read it and do things a bit differently here. I'm gonna, instead of just reading it, commenting, and saying the guy's an idiot for doing what he did, I'm going to try to go through this and constructively look at it and see what he could have changed, things to look out for, etc., etc. And just to keep things authentic so it's truly an on-the-fly analysis, I'm not going to pre-read the story in its entirety. I've skimmed through it, but that's about it. We'll go ahead and read it together here and see what we think of it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy story time. Please also bear with me if something sounds off as I'm starting to read this here. English is not this guy's first language, so some things sound weird, some things don't make sense. Some things I'm trying to reorder in my head before I say it out as I'm reading ahead as well. So yeah, just bear with me for some of this here. Thanks. Me, a 32-year-old male, and wife, 30-year-old female, have been married for 3 years, but together for 5 years. We live in Colombo, Sri Lanka at the moment. My wife's boss is 36, married, and with 2 kids. Now, prior to our marriage, my wife cheated with her boss before we got married, and now I think she's cheating again with things that are recently happening. So the story starts with her cheating on me and her boss when we were both having a relationship. I caught her going to a hotel with her boss. One of my friends worked there and took photos of them. I immediately confronted her, and she denied it, saying I was absolutely crazy. Then I showed her the photos and she finally admitted to cheating. This happened when we were having the relationship for around 1 year. I immediately broke up with her and blocked her number, social media, etc. But after 2 weeks, she came to see me and started begging to start our relationship up all over again. She said that it was a simple mistake and she wanted a second chance. So I was dumb enough to give her a second chance and started the relationship up again. But I set up some rules like checking her phone whenever I wanted, keeping an eye on her, and asked her to stop all chatting and calls with her boss unless it is work-related. She agreed and everything went well. We got married in 2019 and everything was so perfect. That was until last year around December. Last year, December, my wife got a promotion at work and she said she wants to give her boss a dinner treat for that. We argued a lot about it and she blamed me for my insecurity and said that I should trust her because I didn't see any suspicious activity thus far after the first time of cheating back in 2018. So she organized the dinner in one of the most luxurious hotels here. Mostly people go there for romantic dinners to propose, etc. And it was a candlelit dinner. And I said, I'm not feeling comfortable with that. Again, she blamed me. I'm full of insecurity and promised me nothing will happen. She took a day off from work on that dinner treat day and went to the salon in the afternoon to do her eyebrows and a facial. She usually does this before a wedding or a special party. So at this point, I felt something was going on, and she selected a more open and revealing dress, but I didn't argue too much about it because she already blamed me several times for being insecure. She went to the dinner and I asked her to please be home by 10 p.m. Well, she wasn't home by 10 p.m., so I decided to call her, and she didn't answer the phone. I called her several times, and she didn't answer the phone again. She returned back home at 2 a.m. I was so mad and asked why she didn't answer her phone. What took so long? She very calmly said, "Don't freak out." We went for a walk after dinner and just had a friendly talk. I didn't believe it for a second, but couldn't do anything about it either, so I just let it pass. This year in January, my wife said that she has to go to the Maldives with her boss for a business meeting with a potential client. She said she has to stay there for 5 days. I went crazy as soon as I heard this, and we started fighting. She started to blame me again, saying I'm full of insecurity and that I'm crazy, that I don't have the proper social life. She went on the business trip, and everything felt okay for the first 3 days. At least, I felt okay, not sure about what was happening there. But after the 3rd day, I didn't get any calls from her, and I couldn't call her either. It said that she was probably out of the coverage area. So at this point, I lost all faith in my wife and knew something was probably going on. After she returned, I asked her what happened after day 3, and she said that the client had a private resort in a separate island and invited them to go there. And she said there is no reception on that island. So I asked her a few more details about this resort and this island, and she said she doesn't remember anything because the client organized everything and they just got on a boat and went there. And that's where this portion stops here. There is an update to what I previously read. Judging from the language used and the language barrier, you can tell that this guy is really upset, fuming, messed up, yeah, etc., etc. And rightfully so. This is absolutely ridiculous. But here's the second part of this. Hey guys, this is a follow-up to my previous post since you guys were asking for an update. While she cheated even before we got married, I was dumb enough to marry her after that. This was back in 2018. Now with recent events that were happening like a romantic dinner with her boss, a 5-day business trip to the Maldives, I think she's cheating again, so I finally decided to go for a divorce. So the day before yesterday, I took 1 week off of work, booked a hotel for 4 days, and left home with a letter to her. In this letter, I said that you are fucking your boss again, and I know everything that happened at the dinner and the 5-day business trip. A few other things, and he just stated that he decided to go for a divorce. He said that he gave her 4 days to pack up her stuff and to go find a new place. He switched off his phone and he left home because he didn't want her to bother him at all. So he says, I went to the hotel, I checked in, I switched on my phone, and bang, 13 missed calls and messages came flooding in. I just scrolled through the messages, had a look at them, and didn't reply. She called me sometime after. I answered and she was crying, saying that she was sorry for what she did, and she told me that we can still fix this. Jeez. I'm tired after a long drive and really was not in the mood to talk. So I asked her to call tomorrow and we hung up the phone. She asked for the hotel that I'm at so she can come and talk to me in person, but I didn't want to see her. Can't really blame him either. She called me again yesterday and we talked for like 2 hours. I asked her, do you admit to cheating with your boss? And her answer was, I can explain everything. Please let me see you so I can explain everything. And I asked again, did you fuck your boss on that dinner date? And again, her answer was the same. This went on for several other questions I asked, and I finally got mad and yelled at her to come on for once and just be honest with the questions that he's asking. And then she said that it all happened last December. She wanted to get a promotion, so she had a deal with her boss. She gets the promotion and her boss gets to fuck her once. And she promised nothing happened from 2018 up until last December. They both took the day off last December before the dinner date and screwed the whole day. She also said they decided to end it and not mess up, but accidentally, mind you, screwed on the dinner date as well. And the bullshit business trip was actually just for 2 days, not 5. They had extended it by 3 days so they could spend time together. And now she's saying that she's ready to sacrifice everything to save our marriage, that she will go on no contact with her boss and actually quit her job. She said that she doesn't love him or anything, that she just wants to have some fun, and that's all. And she said that she was planning to have kids this year, so she won't be able to go back and have fun like that again. So she decided to play a little bit before that, etc., etc. And she said that if I'm mad about the Maldives trip with her boss and to fix everything, let's go to the Maldives next week. It's really close apparently there. It's only a 2-hour cheap flight. I immediately said no because I knew if I planned this trip that I would probably change my mind and change my decision. She says several times that she's ready to do whatever it takes to save our marriage. So I'm pretty solid with my decision to divorce her, but there's a part of me that still loves her. I know you guys probably get mad at me for that. Last time y'all called me a doormat, etc., etc., but I really love her a lot. It's not easy to wipe the feelings of love that I had for her away all these years. There really isn't much that needs to be said with regards to the story here. I mean, we can call this guy a simp all day long, and, we wouldn't be incorrect, but I don't think it really helps much. Yeah, she displayed all the classic signs of lying, making up stories, gaslighting him, telling him that he's wrong, that even though he can see what's going on, that, nothing's really happening. And to make matters worse, he still stays with her, thus enabling the horrible behavior. Respect is completely out the window here. I mean, at least have the decency to be upfront and honest with him, but she couldn't even do that. And reading through this, it almost reads as like a bad joke, as if to say, did this really happen? But then you have to think to yourself, this is too stupid for someone to have made up, to post and it not actually be true. And fellas, come on, use your head here. If she's cheating on you before you get married, please don't be the atypical dumbass and still marry her. If she does it once, she will do it again. She is just testing the waters to see what she can get away with. The real problem comes into play is once she does it after you get married and then you go to divorce her. That's really where you end up with all the problems because now she is entitled to 50% of what you own. That is the problem. Anyhow, thank you for joining me for the Fallacious Truth Storytime Edition. Depending on how this goes, I'll probably do a lot more of this in the future here. There are so many stories out there, so many lessons that can be gleaned off of others' mistakes. So please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in. Take care, folks.